Hello ladies and gents, Ro here, and welcome to another episode of Tech with Ro. Today we're going to be going over Xcode once again, and let's begin what we're going to discuss in this lesson. We're going to use Xcode in the C++ language. We're going to write code, and I'm going to explain how it all comes together, you guys. And then the main thing we're going to cover in this lesson is how do you receive an input from the user and do something with that input. So first things first, let's open up Xcode and go to our previous project, which I named Tech with Ro. Be sure to check out my previous episodes in order to tie in with these episodes. So here we are. We have our simple program that we had from last time, which we created used data types and used multiplication symbols and mathematical symbols in order to receive results using plus, times, and divide. And then, as you can see, we created variables number 1, 2, number 3, answer 1, answer 2, and answer 3. We had answer 1 was number 1 plus number 2, which is number 1 plus number 2 is 14. Which is answer 1 would be 14, and then answer 2 would be number 1 times number 2, which is 35, and then answer 3 was number 2 divided by number 3, and if you hit build and run, we received 12, 35, and 1.27273. So there we have it, and now what we're going to do is we're going to receive an input from the user, and the way you do this, there's a simple way, is we're going to receive an input from number 1. We're going to have the user enter an input for number 1. Instead of providing it right here, we're going to give it a value of 0, and we're going to say int number 1, and then now we're going to say what we're going to put on the screen, Cout. What number do you want to use? What number do you want to use? Or let's even simpler, let's just go with please enter a number. And there we have it. Then we're going to have him to enter, and then in order to enter the number, for the user to provide the number, we would do cin, which is basically asking the user to input a number. Cin, cout is printing, cin is taking the value in. So here we are. We have 0, number 1, and we want them to enter number 1. So we would do these, I forgot what they're called exactly, the less than, greater than symbols. We do them inside. This one, as you can see, it's pushing them out, push out, and then cin push, like take them in. And what we're going to do is we're going to take in number 1. So whatever the user inputs as the input, we're going to store that input in number 1, which is 0, and it will change though when we get an input from the user. So now we'll have, I'm going to comment these out right here for now, but here we are. We have we're going to get number 1. Once the user puts in number 1, it's going to print our first answer which is answer 1, and in order to get answer 1, we had to number 1 plus number 2, which is answer 1. So number 2 we know is 7. So if we were to build and run right now, we would have this message pop up, please enter a number. Now this is executing this right here, the code, please enter a number, and then cin, which is the number that the person is supposed to enter that we're going to store in number 1. So let's say I'm going to enter, let's just go with 7. Then I'll hit enter, and then our first answer is 14. That means 7, which since I put 7 as number 1 here, we will now have number 1, which is 7, plus number 2, which is already declared as number 7, and it will give us answer 1. So there we are, which is your answer. Our answer is 14. So now we could also do this with number 2, assign it to 0, and then I'm going to simply copy this and then paste it right below this one right here. And Just to avoid confusion, I'm gonna actually delete all these. That way, because we're not using them right now, we're only gonna use one. We're gonna just use number 1 and number 2, so we're gonna delete these as well. That way we just keep everything a little bit more organized. Get rid of number 3. There we are, number 1, answer 1. And there we have and. I'm going to change these to double, which is from my previous lesson. Integer is only integers, and double is, it can be an integer or a decimal number. So that way the user may put in a decimal number if they wanted to. So the way this will work now is, please enter your second number. Please enter your first number. And then we're just going to do plus, since that is the very simplest, basic. So now, please enter your first number, which is executing this right here, printing it out. And then now they're asking for this, and we're going to say 5. And then we're going to go, please enter your second number, which is going down here and executing this now. And they're asking for this, number 1, wait, it should be number 2 right here. Number 2. So this isn't going to run the way we want it to, because our first answer is 5, because I had number 1 here. So that's a bug right there, which I just now caught. So I'm going to build and run once again, because then we want number 2 here. Now we're going to do the same thing, 5, and please enter your second number, which we're going to go with 25. And our answer should be 5 plus 25 is 30. So our answer 1, which is what we have printed, we have this executed, print out, answer is, and then we want print answer 1, which is answer 1, and it should be 30 once we hit enter here. Our first answer is 30. So there you guys have it, very basic input, and now there you have your, now you can play around with this, and it's actually pretty fun being able to enter and input your own data and seeing how it all plays out. So be sure to play around with this a little bit longer. It's pretty cool, and that's it. Thank you guys for watching, and yeah, for further questions, suggestions, be sure to leave a comment. Thank you. Later.